How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing okay. It's having a good week so far. As you know, we don't have our next set out yet. I figured I'd just start going back in time and then moving forward. And yeah, we're gonna start with first edition base set today. Um, I know most people do know this set, but I feel like a good amount of people don't. So yeah, we're gonna do the same thing we do. Appreciate art. Point out some of my favorites. Obviously, the holos are very cool, very desired by most people. And back in this time, for people who are seeing some of these cards for the first time, we don't have altars, we don't have special illustration or anything like that. It's just kind of like mainly like I want to say like a Ken Sugimori type style baseline in terms of the Pokemon, and then we had like these. I don't know if static's the right word, but we had very backgrounds that kind of correlate directly with the type of the Pokemon. As in this case, Mewtwo, and this is one of my favorite cards. You see like a purple background, Nidoking. It's a purple Pokemon, but it's a grass type in the game, so the background matches that as well. Ninetales, I guess, is a bad example, as it's blue and Ninetales is a fire type. Poliwhirl's a better one. But yeah, I think since this was the start of the TCG, in terms of cards you can get from packs, I understand there were cards made before these. I know, but in terms of these artworks, that's kind of what we were starting with. So I think it was pretty interesting, pretty cool the way the TCG started. Yeah, this was it. Like these packs were just readily available. Well, I shouldn't say readily. I know first edition wasn't like the easiest to find, as most people didn't have first edition. Most people had unlimited, but yeah, we had still beautiful cards like this Dragonair right there. It's awesome. Look at the background on that. I really am a sucker for the backgrounds on most cards. I think because growing up with Pokemon cards, the backgrounds were always changing and always evolving. Like you could take a look at some of these nowadays and then look at the modern cards. At least like compare the holos between them, and you see night and day differences. That Arcanine has always been a favorite card of mine. I still don't understand why that wasn't a rare in the set, but it's what it is. I always love the Charmeleon background. See, like I said in the past, like I guess this is where it started for me, which is pretty interesting. I'm discovering this Dratini is one of my favorites. Probably my favorite card in the set. Farfetch is pretty cool. It has like an oil pastel like background. I love that card. Very cool. Check out Growlithe and the plains in the background. Yeah, it was the formula worked. The formula worked. I liked the Pokemon and then the backgrounds, kind of like this Ivysaur in the forest. It was simple. It was geared towards, what they had in terms of technology at the time too, right? Like this was before the 2000s, guys. So Kikuna is very awesome. I always loved seeing that card. Seeing it in its evolution phase is very nice. Machoke, that was interesting. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts about that one. It's nice. Like a rocky background. I love how Magmar is in like a very fiery, like volcanic scene. Very cool, especially ties in with the anime when Ash's Charizard fought Magmar. Super cool episode. I remember that. Nidorino, I'm a fan of. I like the canyon in the background. Poliwhirl. Oh man, I remember it was either a Poliwhirl or Poliwag like toy when I was a kid. It's kind of like a toy you'd like put water in and you could just kind of like squirt the water out. Almost like a toy water gun or something like that. So we got Seal right there. This card, funny enough, one of my friends and we went to, I don't know why, we were just kind of obsessed with getting Seals, so There was a place in my where I grew up where they would sell Pokemon cards. When we were much younger, we would just go in and try to get the seals, like all that we could. They had a binder of like the different sets, from like base set, Team Rocket. Bulbasaur is also very cool. See, Bulbasaur, Caterpie, and Dratini. They're kind of tied for my favorites. I feel like Bulbasaur is very adorable, as is Caterpie, as is Dratini, but I do like the background guard on Dratini, so I think I'm gonna go with that. And I mean, for me, here we go. We got Charmander looking really cool. As much as I like this card, it's not definitely not my favorite. I mean, to like viewers of mine that have heard me state my favorite card of all time is the Dratini from EX Delta Species. I don't think it would be a surprise of Dratini being my favorite in this set. It's interesting because Dratini's not my favorite Pokemon. It's just the cards. I just find them to be really beautiful, really cute. It just works. When I think of a Pokemon card, I feel like it just works. Ghastly and a graffiti. I was going to say graffiti written, but that sounds kind of terrible. It's like a graffiti vibe place. This coughing was always interesting to me. I'm like, why is this thing's stomach so yellow? But I guess it's like to give off that like toxic, kind of view towards it. That Machoke, I like Machoke. I'm sorry, I like the Machop better than the Machoke. Just found it always cool that I was able to lift that giant boulder like that. Machoke, I just feel like it's just flexing. It's like I want to see how strong this Pokemon is, but he's just flexing at me. So we got Metapod here. Another one very cool, ties with the Kakuna a bit. Nidoran, I love. Oh my gosh. Kind of nostalgic to me too, seeing these arts. And I love when I'm able to, go over them in terms of the artwork. Or at least my thoughts, I'm no art expert by any means. This Pikachu, we already know is iconic. Beautiful background. Purple hue in there in the forest. It's so good. It's just so good. Poliwag. You know what? Yeah, I think my toy was definitely a Poliwag. Ponyta on the plains. Just works. Rattata. I really think that Rattata is underrated in terms of artwork. I love it. Squirtle's iconic. Got his bubbles going. Starmie. I feel like after this Starmie artwork, they started to get a lot better in my opinion. Or I should say, they started to develop cards that I personally like better for Starmie, artwork-wise. The Air Vulpix. Or was it Unlimited that was Air Vulpix? Don't know. I'm not stressing over it though. Because we've got Weedle coming up. Like I've stated, I really do like bug-type Pokemon, so seeing the Weedle's really cool to me. I love it. And then we're gonna get into some of the trainers. As over time, I'm not like the biggest trainer, like item type person. I thought the Imposter Professor Oak was kind of cool. Kind of ties into some of the anime a little bit, and I did like Professor Oak. Or I should say I do like. It's not like I have beef with this character. Professor Oak is cool. Yeah, I don't know. Professor Oak's cool. I like the potions, revives, kind of stuff like that I feel like I practically use in the game a lot, to be fair. So, those are my thoughts regarding that. The Switch is iconic to me, but more another Switch, not really that one. But that will be in a future episode where, we'll see that one for the first time. That's probably my favorite Switch card I've seen. Like I said, Bulbasaur, oh my gosh, look at me, can't talk. Bulbasaur and Caterpie. Combine those names. And then, yeah. We're gonna go to, yeah. Hope everyone enjoyed. Have a great one.